Morning guys, it's a beautiful Sydney day. It's 7:30 Saturday morning, sun's shining, a few fluffy clouds and very few cars on the street. So this morning I wanted to talk about binge drinking. And I went to a boarding school in England, and at that boarding school they had what was called this sixth form bar. Now I don't know whether English boarding schools still have such a thing. I'd be surprised if they do. I think because this school was in a little village in the middle of nowhere and there were pubs everywhere, they wanted to keep us out of the pubs, and therefore they thought sanctioned drinking was a better idea than letting us cycle off into surrounding villages and go drinking and then falling off our bicycles and anything that could happen. So probably their focus, I would have thought, was to keep us on campus in a controlled environment. So they had the sixth form bar. They gave us 2 tickets each so that we could use those tickets, which were just little raffle tickets, on the night to limit ourselves to 2 drinks only. Now, great idea in theory. However, if one of your mates had sport the next day and you didn't, you'd be going, mate, you're not drinking. No, give me a ticket. So you'd end up with pretty much as many tickets as you liked. So that was a pretty young age. I think started from about the age of 16. And I think that was where I formed some pretty bad habits in relation to binge drinking. Binge drinking is kind of a thing here in Australia. It's kind of a rite of passage. It's a culture. It causes a whole bunch of different issues, violence, sickness, etc., etc. So it is a real issue. And for my own part, I can go for, well, I have done. I've gone for close to a year, a couple of times without a drink. I have a pretty strong on-off switch. The greatest challenge I have is the moderation switch. So I can go on, I can go off, but to moderate after a couple of drinks, to say, okay, that's enough, I find really, really challenging. So I would like to find a way, and that's what I will be finding a way and then sharing that with you guys, any of you guys that find yourself binge drinking, because after a particularly large binge drink I had, where I could barely speak, confronting my kids was not a great way to be in front of them, and even though I'm what would be described as a happy drunk, my son did make the lucid comment that, Dad, it's not that you're behaved badly when you've had too much to drink, but you've just got to ask yourself the question, why you're drinking that much. And that was a pretty insightful comment from a young man. And good thing he's studying philosophy and psychology at university. So that really has got me thinking. This week again, I went to a function, got excited, saw a load of guys that I haven't seen for a long time, had fun, had chats, drank too much, and it's got to stop. It's a challenge to stop it. It's got to stop. Your brain, you have that first drink, you get the beer buzz, you have the second one, and then you're on your way. And it's not good for your body. It's not good socially. Not a good representation of who I want to be in front of my children. So I will find a way. I don't want to give up alcohol and be the boring teetotal guy that people feel uncomfortable with at parties, but I want to find a way, and I will find a way to limit myself. And I think that way has got to be through some form of affirmation, meditation. So that's one of my little challenges, and I'll be working out a way to do that. And if any of you guys have challenges similar to that, hopefully we can knock that one on the head together. So thanks for listening, and we shall speak soon.